Hello friends, happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, yes. Works in Progress Wednesday, WIP Wednesday to those who participate. I think that's what a lot of people say. It's Shannon. I wanted to give an update on my works in progress. I did give a little bit of an update last night, but it was pretty underwhelming because I didn't have that much to share. I did realize during that video that I had grabbed the wrong DMC color to finish out my Cafe du Monde, and so I had intentions to go and buy new floss tonight, but I ended up doing a dinner with my team. I've got one of my teammates who's in from out of town, and so we did dinner, and then it turned into late night. She, bless her heart, had to do a little bit of therapy for me. She was doing a little bit of listening, so she's a sweetheart. So I'm home late. I did not make it to Hobby Lobby to get the DMC that I needed for that canvas. Therefore, I cannot stitch on that canvas. But it did remind me that I bought some things last week when I was in New Orleans, and I forgot to share. So it's kind of like Stitch Mail Monday, but on a Wednesday, and it didn't come in the mail. So, we're just going. We're just making it work. So when I was in New Orleans, somebody had posted a message on, or a comment on one of my videos, that they hoped that I was able to visit a Needlepoint store in New Orleans. And I had visited the Quarter Stitch, which is down in the French Quarter, and I didn't buy anything. But she mentioned that there is another Needlepoint store, and I've forgotten the name of it. It's Nola. I don't really remember the name of it, but she told me at the time. I've forgotten who it was, but thank you for the tip, because I did go to that other Needlepoint store on my way to the airport and did some damage. So last week in New Orleans was a pricey trip, but I did want to share. So I bought a new belt canvas, and I'm very excited about it. It is leopard print. Look how cute. It is extraordinarily long. So, and what was a little bit interesting is I started stitching this last night, and it goes up to the very tippy end. Like there's no way to turn this over to do any finishing. So I just moved it in maybe half an inch and started right here. So I just barely started last night, but I just moved it in because it's got a lot of length to it and way more than I need for a belt. So I will measure at some point, but I was like, I'm just gonna turn that in because there's no place to finish it. I don't understand what that was all about. But anyway, I started the stitching very, very little stitching, but I did start that last night. So here's what I kitted it with. I did not buy enough for the whole canvas because I'd spent a lot of money that week, but I did at least get the colors picked out, thanks to the help of the shop lady. And so she suggested that I get Vineyard Silk Merino. Oh, there you go. That she likes wool, and I love wool to needlepoint with, and so I just went with what she suggested. And so from a color matching perspective, it's obviously a leopard print, not a tiger. Somebody commented that I called my skirt tigers instead of cheetah or leopard, but leopard. It's leopard. So it's got this little print, and so it's got a light brown, like a ivory, and a tan, and then the dark. So I have biscotti is this color. So I started this last night, and then also lemon chiffon. That's not very lemony, but there you go. And then a chocolate brown. I did not buy black because I feel like I have black in my stash somewhere. And so those are the colors, and I didn't buy very much because I can just pick it up, I think, along the way. But very excited to have another belt to work on. So barely started, but I did start a little bit. So excited to have that. And then I also bought this canvas, which was totally unnecessary, but I love it. So this is the Howard's Violet mints candy, and I love this candy. In fact, my oldest son got me some for my stocking this year. I love this violet candy. And so when I saw this canvas, I just had to have it. I have not kitted it. I'll probably just do it with DMC floss, honestly, just to have the colors, but super excited to have that. So that was my other purchase. Okay, that's it. I've got a very early morning tomorrow, and so I am going to try to be disciplined and go to bed early, but I'll probably stitch a little bit in bed. So I appreciate you coming along. I hope you have had a great WIP Wednesday, whatever it is that you're working on, and I appreciate you coming along. Have a great night.